Parshas Mishpatim Revi Chov Zayin Elohim le'Sekalel, you shall not curse a judge. V'nosi ba'al chalisor, neither shall you curse a prince amongst your peoples. Of Rashi Elohim le'Sekalel ha'azu azaras le'birkas Hashem v'azaras le'kilas dayan. This is a warning against cursing a yid and a warning against cursing a judge. Your fullness offering and your heave offering you shall not delay. The firstborn of your son you shall give me. Obligation that is upon you when you produce, when your produce becomes fully ripe. This is the first fruits. Your heave offering, hat truma, this is the truma. Rashi says, I do not know what the etymology of dema is, which is the noun root of dimacha. You should not alter the sequence of the separation by delaying what should come first and advancing what should come later. You should not advance truma before bikurim or ma'aser before truma. The firstborn of your son you shall give me, to redeem it from the kohen with 5 slime. Now, did he not give the commandment concerning elsewhere? But here it's to tell us, it's juxtaposed that you shall do with your cattle and with your sheep, just as the firstborn of man is redeemed after 30 days. It says, at his redemption from a month old, you shall redeem him. So too with the firstborn of a small cattle, which will take care for 30 days, and afterwards give it to the kohen. So you shall do with your cattle. 7 days it shall be with his mother. On the 8th day you may give it to me. So after as far as the kohen, this is a warning to a kohen. If he wants to bring a korban early, he may not bring it before 8 days. Because it lacks in the minimum time requirement. We may think that it's obligatory for that day. It says, on the 8th day you shall give it to me. It says over there as well, just as the 8th day mentioned further means to make it from the 8th day and on. So too, the 8th day mentioned here means to make it from the 8th day. This is the meaning. The 8th day you are permitted to give it to me. And you shall be holy people. Flesh torn in the field you shall not eat. You shall throw it to the dogs. If you abstain, if you're holy and you abstain from eating different nevelas, injured animals, you are mine. But if not, you're not mine. The boss in the house is also the Torah speaks of usual occurrence. It's the location where animals are usually torn. So to be found here in the field. The Torah is teaching behavior. Speaks about you cannot eat flesh that was torn off through tearing off a wool or a lion from a kosher beast or from a kosher domesticated animal while it was alive. The guy is similar to a dog. Maybe it means an actual dog. That's what it says by the nevela, or sell it to a guy. So kavachimer, a treifa, we are permitted to gain any type of benefits. Set of eating. This teaches us. So why does the Torah say to the dogs? This teaches us that Hashem Hashem does not withhold the reward of any creature. But all the children, now one dog will wet its tongue. Hashem says, give it this reward. You shall not accept a false report. Do not place your hand with a wicked person. To be a false witness of Rashi, as the Targum says, should not accept a false report. That this is an issue against accepting slander, and for a judge that should not hear the plea of one litigant until his opponent arrives. Do not place your hand with a wicked person. Person who files a false claim against his neighbor, for whom he had promised to be a false witness. You should not follow the majority of evil. You should not respond concerning you should not respond concerning a lawsuit to follow many to prefer justice. Rashi says, there are halachic interpretations of this pasuk given by Chafim Yisrael, but the language of the pasuk does not fit its context concerning them. From here they learn that we may not decide unfavorably for the defendant by the majority created by one judge. Safe, within the Foshes HaKosim Medaber. So, the interpretation at the end of the pasuk and after the majority to decide means that if those judges voting that the defendant is guilty outnumber those voting that the defendant is innocent by 2, the psak is to be decided unfavorably according to the majority opinion. The Nefashah HaKosim Medaber. Torah speaks of capital cases. The figure from Aschilin B'din Nefashis V'natzadik Tanuf B'hen Sheilin Tchila Sheilin is Daikon L'fi. And the middle of the pasuk that the Chacham interpreted like we shall not speak up against the master, meaning that we may not offer with an egregious of the court. Therefore, in capital cases, the judges commence the roll call from the side, meaning they first ask the smallest of them to express his opinion. According to the words of Chacham, this is the interpretation of the pasuk. Should not follow the majority of evil to condemn a person to death because of one judge. By whom you will declare the guilty outnumber those who declare him innocent. When does that? After the majority to decide if those judges who declare the defendant guilty outnumbered by those who declare him innocent. And since it says you shall not follow the majority of evil, I learned that you shall follow them for good. So Mikan from here the Chacham learned that from capital cases we decide through a majority of one and through a majority of 2 for conviction. Ungla says that do not refrain from teaching that what appears to be concerning a judgment. And the Targum is interpreted as follows: you shall not respond concerning a fight by turning away. If someone asks you something concerning the halacha, do not answer him by turning aside and distancing yourself from the fight. Judge it honestly. If you see wicked people perverting justice, you should not say, since there are many, I'll just follow them. And if the litigants asks you about the corrupt judgment, do not answer him concerning the lawsuits. The answer that follows those many to pervert the judgment from this true ruling. Tell the judgment as is, let the iron hang on the neck of the many. Neither shall you glorify a poor man in this lawsuit of Ashli Seder. Tachli Kovel is Hakisa Bediva Labor Dal who has a Kenem Achabino should not bestow honor upon him by deciding in his favor in his lawsuit, saying he is poor man, I will decide in his favor and honor him. If you come upon your enemy's bull or stray donkey, you shall surely return it to him. When you see your enemy's donkey, lying under its burden, when you refrain from helping him, you shall surely help him. Ki serve as an expression of perhaps, which is one of the four meanings of the word ki. This is as meaning. Well, you see perhaps his donkey lying under his burden. Aziva is an expression of help. The Mender says that when you see okay, it's a zaken, if it's a zaken and it's below his dignity, where the animal belonging to a goy and the burden belonging to a yid, then you could refrain. To unload the burden, and the mishka lay little masa meadow from taking the burden of it.